Hey all, welcome back to Awful Stories. I'm Matt, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe for daily videos. The first story we're going to cover is titled, I Found Them in Our Bed. This was posted to the Surviving Infidelity subreddit by a user named Sinkold. Last week, I was completely and utterly happy, head over heels in love with my fiance. We've been together for years. We found out in May she was pregnant. Life didn't feel like it could get any better. I'm an essential worker and unfortunately still have to travel from time to time for my job. I have been trying to cut down on plane travel and will drive if able. Last week, I was scheduled to be gone all week, but ended up being able to leave several days ahead of time, hoping to surprise my fiance. It was an 8-hour drive, but it ended up being almost 14 because of traffic and poor timing on my part. I got home around 10:30 p.m. and found her and a coworker in our bed together having sex. She's an assistant producer at a local news station, and he's one of the anchors. She immediately tried to defuse the situation and said it wasn't what I thought and not to jump to conclusions. He jumped up, put his clothes on, and left. I was so angry I was seeing stars. She tried to talk to me about it, but I didn't want to hear it. I left and called a friend and have been staying with him for the past 6 days. I spoke to her on the phone yesterday, and she told me it was a one time thing, and she felt like the passion had been missing in our relationship, which I don't agree with at all. I think she was trying to justify the cheating and gaslight me. I'm so angry, and she won't stop harassing me. I don't know what to do. We're going to be parents, and I don't want anything to do with her, but I'm stuck with her for at least the next 18 years. She hasn't even apologized and just keeps trying to justify her actions. Update. So sorry for taking so long to update. This week has been hellish. I met with my friend's lawyer friend in family law early last week. He contacted her and threatened to go public about the affair, so she was more forthcoming with information. She told him they had been sleeping together for over a year. She's 85% sure the baby is mine because they never have unprotected sex, but doesn't want to have a DNA test until the baby is born. The lawyer believes the baby is the other guy's based on this comment. I haven't fully moved out yet, just moved a lot of my clothes into my buddy's place. The lawyer thinks I should sell the house and not let her buy me out because he doesn't think she has the funds and would try to bluff me. Also, sorry if I didn't answer you. I got a ton of messages here and in DMs. I tried to answer as many as I could. If you have any other questions, I'll be on for a bit. Final update, since my post is now archived. I'm still blown away by the amount of people checking up on me both in this thread and via DMs. I really appreciate the support and love during this trying time. On to what you're here for. We did multiple DNA tests, and the baby is mine. He was born a few weeks ago, and is by far the greatest thing to happen to me. He makes all this mess worth it. His mother and I are not together. I strictly speak to her about the baby, and that is all. The house is sold. Closing is March 1st, but we do not need to be there. I'm still living with my buddy, hoping to buy a new home in the next few months for my son and me. I did not go public with the affair out of respect for my son. Her employers know, and she was terminated. He is still working there. I'm not sure what their relationship consists of, and I don't care. I'm guessing he left. This story is straight up heartbreaking and a heart wrenching example of how devastating betrayal can be, especially when it shatters a relationship just before a new chapter begins. A baby on the way, a wedding planned. That's what makes this even more awful. The fact that she was pregnant. OP's fight to keep control of his emotions, to not jump to conclusions too quickly, speaks to someone trying to hold on to their dignity even in chaos. What sucks the most, though, is the painful reality that this affair had been ongoing for over a year. It cuts deeper because it involves secrecy layered upon deceit, leaving OP questioning every moment and memory. Kudos to OP as he is taking every right step possible, talking to lawyers, seeking facts like DNA tests, selling the house, focusing on the baby's well being, shows immense strength and desire to protect himself and his child while grappling with this entire situation. Throwaway plebeian said, "One time thing, huh? Not jump to conclusions? What exactly were you supposed to think?" But she's right about one thing. Don't assume the child is yours. Good luck. To this, OP said, "Thanks. I will lose it if she lied about the baby." That is a whole new level of low, even for her. Taco said, "The fact that she is cheating is low, but she is cheating and pregnant? That's just disgusting." A few years after, OP finally gave us an update. I made this throwaway account over 4 years ago when I had just found out my ex-fiance cheated on me with her coworker. I actually completely forgot I made this account until I was going through my email to delete things yesterday. I figured I'd log back in and give all the people in situations similar to mine, and worse, some hope. I was incredibly broken when this happened and tried to put all my feelings aside when our son was born. I'm ashamed to say my feelings eventually caught up with me, and my ex and I argued, verbally, on multiple occasions. Shortly after, I realized I let her break me and started going to therapy regularly. I went a couple of times before that and didn't think it helped, but once I was consistent, it was a game changer. As a man, I was taught to suck it up and move on, but crying and talking about issues does help. I mean, really talking about them, not in a stoic way like I had been doing. My ex and I are actually on friendly terms. She is also in therapy. I'm proud to say we co parent really well. We do family activities together, like opening gifts on Christmas or spending the day with him on his birthday. He's 4. How do I have a 4-year-old? He's so smart, funny, and loves us both so much. We do 50-50 custody. It works for us. She's a great mom. I won't take that away from her. I'm sure this isn't the update some of you wanted to hear, but it's what works best for our son. I don't hate her anymore, and she doesn't hate me anymore. We're both in a really good place. No, I don't ever want to be with her again. She has apologized to me for her affair. We had a really open and honest conversation with each other 2 years ago, and it really helped me heal. I got to air all my feelings, and so did she. The affair partner moved to a new news station about 2.5 or 3 years ago in a different state. They don't speak anymore. She's dating, but nothing serious. She has a new job at another local news station. She started working when our son was a year old. I'm doing really well. I'm enjoying watching our son grow up. I've been dating someone for the past 2 years. She's the best human I've ever met. She loves my son as her own. She really worked with me to mend my trust issues. Ironically, we met at work. Even my ex likes her and has no problem with her being around our son. Don't worry, I waited a full year to introduce her to our son. Just wanted you all to know things do get better. And although things didn't work out the way I had initially planned, I'm still incredibly happy and our son is thriving. OP's journey is truly inspiring, a testament to resilience, healing, and the complicated path to rebuilding life after betrayal. After discovering the affair, OP went through intense pain and anger, yet through consistent therapy and honest communication with his ex-fiancée, he found a way to heal and forge a new, functional relationship built around their son's well-being. And the fact that he found love again with someone supportive of both him and his son underscores that life can get better, even after devastating heartbreak. I'm so proud of OP, and to anyone watching right now, this should be a beacon of hope for anyone feeling broken after infidelity, showing that healing is possible without erasing past wounds, and that new, healthier relationships can emerge. Burnaway said, "This is a really hopeful and happy update. Thank you for showing that there can be daylight at the end of the tunnel. Congratulations, and keep moving forward." To this, OP said, "Thank you, and no problem. I wrote this post because I remember feeling 4 years ago like things would never get better. There is always daylight at the end of the tunnel. Take things one day at a time." Connect Initiative said, "I am more so wondering, did he ever get punished? If you weren't such a level-headed person, you could have caused a huge scandal for that news station. The fact that only she got fired is mind-boggling to me. I would have expected him to be let go immediately for exposing the company to a public relations nightmare. Also, you said she apologized. Did she ever explain her reasoning behind the affair? You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I like hearing the excuses they give. It's almost comical after so many years of hearing them repeatedly." To this, OP said, "I honestly don't know. I'm sure some sort of action was taken. I also think that might be why he left the news station and moved to a different state. People who work in the news industry typically have contracts that last 2 to 3 years. So that adds up. I never outright asked my ex, and she never said anything to me. I think it was easier to fire her because she was coming to the end of her 2 year contract. I didn't know this at the time, with her station, and she made less money than he did. Viewers wouldn't notice she was missing because she wasn't on air talent, so there would be fewer questions than if he had been fired. Usually, when someone leaves the station, they have a little party to wish them well. They did not do this with that guy. He was there one day and gone the next. We found out on social media that he had moved to another station. All his coworkers unfollowed him, so something tells me he was on thin ice at the station. I don't want to get too deep into it, but one of her major issues was that I worked too much. She was right. I was working a lot before she was pregnant, and I worked even more when I found out she was pregnant. We had planned to start trying for children after we got married, but she got pregnant before that, and our wedding was canceled because of COVID. Once I checked my ego, I can see how she was lonely and felt like I wasn't there for her. Not a reason to cheat, but the resentment built up.